Hello everybody, this is Phasian Phoenix and welcome to my first ever Let's Play. Today going to be playing a game called Oxygen Not Included, the Cosmic Upgrade. This was just released today and I'm going to play it. This game is made by Clay Entertainment, and they also made Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. This is a colony management along the likes of RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress, Prison Architect. It's obviously a spacey kind of setting here with a very quirky art style. I like it. Let's go ahead and get started here. We have a standard game or a custom game. We can choose what world gen seed we want. Sandbox mode is what it sounds like. It's for playing with a little more control. We're going to leave everything the same though. Start out. The story is actually pretty simple. Your people find yourself stranded on a stellar body somewhere, and you have to make the means for survival. So let's go ahead and wait for this to generate. Ideal oxygen levels reached. Okay, you start out with these three people, lovingly referred to as duplicants or dupes. They're basically like clones. So they're not real people, no. But certainly don't get attached to any one of them because you can die, and that's not very good. So, right here we can see that we get to choose three of them, and we can hit shuffle as many times as we want at this point till we get the right starting team. Once we get in, we will be able to get more duplicants later, but once we are in, we would not be able to randomly choose them. We're given three to choose from, and we pick one or none. We can choose to reject them. So first thing you see here is attributes. They determine how good you are at the various errands and jobs to do. Cooking, digging, ranching, farming, learning, you know, that sort of stuff. As you can see, farming here increases harvesting speed, tending speed, seed chance. Yeah, so higher is better. Next thing is traits. They are the little things that make each one of these characters unique. In this case, there's this one is a narcoleptic, which means that he'll literally fall asleep at random and sleep for a little while and then wake back up again. It's annoying. It's not that bad. And he's also a quick learner. I think we'll actually keep this guy and go on to the next one. So then interests are when we get into the game, we'll be able to assign these duplicants jobs that they do. And these ones, the interests, mean that they will perform those jobs, or no, they will master those jobs faster. Those are the primary things to worry about, obviously. The name. There's some further information down here, what they expect in the way of decorations, what kind of food they'll eat. The other one is the stress reaction. This is what will happen if they get really stressed out, then they start wigging out a little bit. In this case, this guy is an ugly crier. Yeah, that's not bad. So now we need to choose our first dupes here, and the first one we need, I've already mentioned this, I think, is that we need someone who's good at learning. And honestly, you know what, I think I'm going to hit the button on this guy again, because while he's good at learning, he's a quick learner. That adds 3 to his learning skills, but that's the only thing he's got. He's a better farmer than he is a learner. So let's see, farming, strength. Alright, we don't necessarily need to worry about tinkering or strength in the beginning, and not ranching either, because we're not going to be doing that till later. What we really need is a learner. Aha, here we go. Really good learner. He's got an iron gut, which means he can't get diarrhea, and he's a pacifist, so he won't fight. Oh, but he's a bit of a binge eater when he gets upset, but we'll be fine. Ashcan. Ashcans have what can only be described as a seriously infectious giggle. Okay. Right. Next one we need is someone who is good at cooking. What do you know? Diver's lungs is really good. That means they use less oxygen than the other dupes do. So ugly crier, and he likes to build. Well, that's fine. You're going to cook instead. Now this last one, I like to get somebody who's reasonably good at a combination of digging and construction. The reason being is that you got to dig out and build things at the beginning, and that's really useful to have someone who's pretty good at it, or at both. See, there's someone with digging. Well, I think that's what I'll stay with. No, narcoleptic. I don't like narcoleptics. They fall asleep at the strangest times. Okay, this looks a little better. He's a pacifist. He's got a higher kindness. That's when your duplicants get sick, someone who takes care of them utilizes the kindness stat. Athletics is their run speed, so that's pretty good, actually. Alright, so we got Ashken, Abe, and Stinky. Stinky. Let's pick a name here. Space Camp. Sure. So let's go on. Alright, so I've awakened inside an asteroid with a crew of 3 duplicants. Resources are scarce. I can't remember how we got here. I need to help the duplicants survive if we're going to find answers. So, first thing that it does is drop you into the middle of the world here. As you can see, it's all the way around us. This is the space that we'll have to start with. We are surrounded by all sorts of different minerals. Like here's sandstone, here's dirt, sand, copper. Let's see what else. Coal right there. You can see we've got some water here. We've got various plant tufts sticking around here. These little guys here, which are called shine bugs, they just kind of shine around. And let's see. So if you look up here, this is information on the game. This is what cycle it is in the current time. This is how many your current population, their stress levels, their immune system levels, the amount of food that you have, an overall view. This is the speed of the simulation. Right now I've got it paused. This allows you to toggle an override mode so that the duplicants will continue to do their work and ignore their other needs, including eating, going to the bathroom, and sleeping. So you want to use that with caution. Up here is all of the various information and strategy based screens. This gives you an overlay that you can see, like this one here shows the breathable oxygen levels. This one shows temperature. This one shows germs, but we don't have any. So we start in the middle here and we have to dig our way out. So first thing we do is we don't directly control our duplicants. They have their own personalities and their own, well, I won't say their own wills, but you give them jobs, you give them errands to do, and then they do choose to do them. For example, I need to start by digging out from our starting position, let's say to here. There we go. Alright, so while they're doing that, I'll continue talking. So, the first thing that we need to worry about, obviously, as I just said, is space, because we only get this little thing to start with, and we just have to dig it all out to get there. So the next thing that we have to worry about, as the name suggests, is oxygen. But we actually do start with oxygen. It is included. And as you can see, this kind of blue shimmery background area here denotes that there's plenty of oxygen in these various pockets, except for this one. This one's full of a dark cloudy thing, stuff called carbon dioxide, and you can't breathe this. You need oxygen to breathe. There are other gases. There's actually 3 things of carbon dioxide up there. More oxygen, barely breathable oxygen. So there are other gases, and this is a vacuum. There's nothing in there. There are other gases that we'll run into eventually, but for now that's what we've got. They're working away, digging. Okay, so after it was for oxygen, when we start out with a supply already here. We run into pockets as we go. The other thing is that there's this oxylite ore, mineral, or whatever you want to call it, that gives out a steady stream of oxygen once it's exposed to air. So these ones out here are not. These ones are. As you can see, there's little bubbles of air coming out. So they will come out. As you can see, they're slowly reducing in weight, and eventually they'll disappear, and this will not produce any more oxygen. After that, you can use this tool right here, or well, these two will produce oxygen out of this green algae here. Now, algae isn't an infinite resource either. It will eventually run out as well. There are ways after that to make with electrolyzers to make oxygen out of the water. So we're going to need a surprising amount of water. Speaking of water, I should probably let them dig down into that. Let's see here. Okay, and then we need to use this pump here to get the water out of there. And then we'll have them dig this all out. Okay, so they will eventually build that and get access to their water. Now, we need a surprising amount of water, and it needs to be clean. As we use it, it will actually doesn't go away, but it gets dirty, and we have to clean it. It gets polluted. So the next thing that we need to worry about is actually their business. They have to go to the bathroom. And in order to make it so that they can go to the bathroom, we have to put down outhouses so that they can go poo. Let's see, I don't want to put it over the water. That would be very bad. So let's instead put it over here. How about we have them dig out a little bit more to like there. I can't really go beyond this just yet because I do not have anybody that can dig into this other area. So this is a different biome, not the same as this. This is filled with chlorine, and the temperature is a lot hotter here. You can see, oh wait, ooh, there's something there. But we can't get in here just yet. This is, they have names, but I don't really know them. We tend to call it the purple biome. See, you're digging. Alright, so they got access to that water. Good. So let's put out the plumbing for the outhouse. Let's get it a little bit away from the wall there. Put a couple of those. And going along with going to the bathroom, you have to wash your hands. Let me hit the right button here. And we put down this wash basin so that they will now do their thing. Gotta dig up that dirt. The cracks here indicate that there's something buried beneath it. Most likely it's just the stuff that we've been digging because this fell from the ceiling here. But sometimes you get this way in the back behind this guy. Excuse me, Abe. Move, please. Hey. Right, fine. You don't have anything to do. Let's give them something to do here. Make a ladder down. Wait, I don't want to go that far. Just dig. Oh, wait, I know what I need to do. They can dig down, and we can build tiles across everything. These are just floors, basically. Alright. Okay. Well, they're walls, floors, ceilings, what have you. Alright, so now they got something to do. I'll speed up time a little bit. Alright. Now I'm going to... These pockets here of carbon dioxide are kind of small, but I'm going to wait before I breach into them. just yet. I don't have any oxygen production going on. Those were, tool tips on how to play, but I don't need to see those. Okay. While they're doing that, I will continue to finish off the bathroom. Now, you do want to actually build rooms because, they will. Oh, that's the end of the first day. And funnily enough, they'll fall asleep right on the ladder. But now they're sleeping on the ground. They're fine sleeping on the ground for short terms. They get a debuff on their thing. Right here you can see their status, their health conditions, stuff like that. There's a whole lot of information. There's a lot of information in this game, so you kind of have to watch it all. And they're up the next day, cycle 2. Here we go. And oh, there he's going to the bathroom. Now he's washing his hands. Ta-da! That's how you use the bathroom. Oh, he's disinfecting it now. Anyway, you actually want to, as I was continuing my thought, you actually want to create actual rooms. Are you guys eating in the bathroom? Ew. You want to actually create actual rooms because you gain bonuses for rooms based upon what's in them. For example, I will be able to build a latrine, which gives a bonus for stress relief when I get a toilet and a wash basin in the same room. And as soon as this room is actually finished, it'll be a room. I don't know if they will because I don't think they'll be able to reach the roof without some help, or like getting on top, for example. So that's the first of that. Next thing we'll do is we'll put down some beds so that they don't have to sleep on the floor anymore. These are mostly just temporary. I'll probably move them later. If you're wondering why I built this wall like this, is that what can happen is that the liquids will flow into various places, and this will prevent it from flowing and contaminating other rooms that will remain in here. So if somebody spills something in here or vomits or pisses their pants, if they can't get to the bathroom in time, that's what will happen. I know what I need to do. Next thing I should do real quick here is put down storage. Maybe it's in base. It's in base. Alright, this is the storage compactor. It takes all these various items that are sitting on the ground here and they put it in these, they're like boxes. And I have to tell them to store things in here. In this case, everything that I can store right now goes into here. You can see there's different categories. We will copy the settings to this one over here. That way, since they have nothing else to do, they'll start picking up. And that's more or less what I want them to do. As you can see, our food count has gone down a little bit. They've had, well, it's gone down and gone back up again because I have muck root and 4 muck root and 20 nutrient bars. Alright, so while they're fingers in the wrong place. So the next thing that we got to pick up after they've got a place to sleep and they've got a place to go poo is that we've got to start doing research. So we build a research station, and a research station takes power. Unfortunately, without doing any research, we have very limited means of making power. But we'll do what we've got. We've got a small battery here, which is made out of copper. And then we've got a manual generator, which is literally a hamster wheel. I think that's funny. And then we got to run wires between these things, like this. It plugs like this from the generator to the battery, and from the battery to the research station. Now, it doesn't matter how you shape it; they just have to connect to each other. The only thing is that the wires cause. Oh, now they're going to sleep. Now they actually sleep on the cots. Nice. The wires cause a decor reduction in the room, and by hiding them in the walls, you can hide them better, and they won't see it. There's this overlay right here, which will show you what this looks like. Right now the battery's empty. Okay, so now that we've got a research bench, welcome to the research screen. Now we start over here on this side and work our way this way. First thing I'm going to start with actually is advanced research. And the reason for that is within that research, oh, there he goes, running on the treadmill. Oh, he's got to go to the bathroom. Run, 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 run. Okay, there he goes. Oh, Stinky's going too. Stinky's making a stinky. Let's look at the oxygen overlay for a second here. As you can see, there's now little pockets of carbon dioxide, and in here there's going to be little pockets of polluted oxygen. Well, maybe not just yet, but there's little pockets of carbon dioxide floating around that as these little guys breathe out, they make carbon dioxide. Now, the gas mechanics are a little limited. There can only be one type of gas in a given area at a time, and it's either, in this case, this is all oxygen. The little red places are carbon dioxide. You can see it's kind of floating around. They do actually all have different weight, and carbon dioxide will sink below oxygen. So what tends to happen is that it tends to form in the lower areas of your base, whereas the oxygen will work its way up. I believe chlorine is heavier than oxygen too, and will sink. I'm not sure which is heavier, chlorine or carbon dioxide. There's also hydrogen, which will actually float and go on top of everything, on top of the oxygen, and form at the top of the place. Right now, this is not a big deal. Everything is actually quite fine right now, but we will. Oh, we got done with that. All right. So now that we've done that, we can make a supercomputer, which I won't do just yet. But most importantly, that I'm after is this jobs board. This is where your people will take up their jobs. There we go. All right, so now they'll continue building that. Let's go back to the research screen. After that, the next thing is basic farming. That'll give us the ability to grow food, which we need. Okay, before we can do food though, I've got to dig down and get at these plants, because that's where I get the seeds from. Oops. Oh, and I just heard a noise that tells me, aha. Now this thing here is called the printing pod. It's like a gateway where more duplicates come from. You literally print them out from a device. Hit this button. Now, let's see. Now I have to choose from these 3 people here. This guy is pretty well balanced. He's got a little bit of everything. Iron gut, but he's a narcoleptic. Kindness. He's a slow learner. Farming and building. You know what? He's not he's not stellar, or she. Actually, I don't know if you can tell what their gender is. I mean, they vaguely resemble, but anyway, I will say she, based on the name, is not super great at farming, but it's her interest, and so when she becomes a farmer, she'll learn it faster. She is a vomiter when she gets stressed out. That might be a bit of a problem, but if we design the base right, it won't be. So I believe I'll go with her. Biohazardous means that they regenerate their immunity faster when they get sick. Yeah, May seems to be the best here. Now, if I don't want any of these, I can reject all, and I just have to wait for the thing to come back again. Basically, plop! There they go. Basically, this takes 3 cycles between uses. So if I'd rejected them, I'd have to wait for 3 cycles to go by. You know, I just realized I don't quite have enough room there for her bed. So what we'll do instead is we'll dig underneath here. That's 3, 4. I like to do 4 high levels, floors, if you will, because the various things, most of the stuff is too tall, Some of it is 4, but you can eventually get paintings and stuff that are too high as well. And then you can fit them one on top of the other. Did that ever turn into a room? No, it didn't. So that means that I've got to go up first for that. And wait a minute, I did not want to do that. I want to do this. Okay, so we'll let them do their thing. Oh, wait, we'll let them sleep first. Ah, see, this little guy, there's no oxygen down here. It's this carbon dioxide right here. So when they're here, they have to hold their breath. And poor May is sleeping on the ladder. I don't know why they sleep on the ladder. Don't worry, May, we'll make you a proper bedroom in a minute here for everybody. Now, let's see. The few things you got to watch out for as time goes by. As I said before, there's a germ mechanic here, and when you go to the bathroom, if they don't wash their hands, they'll carry germs around, and as you can see right now, I don't have any germs really. Immunity, poison. Oh, he's got a little germs on him, not very many. It's not an issue right now, but as we do things, germs will increase in number if we don't take steps to stop them. I think it's time now that I put in some oxygen generation. It is, yeah, it's starting to go down quite a bit here. So this needs power. We'll just do that. They will go ahead and build it. This here is where they're storing the food. Let me actually put all the food in there. Kind of an odd thing is that as you discover items in the game, they get added to the storage things, and you have to go in there and add it so that they'll actually be stored, because they didn't exist before and now they do, and yeah, it's kind of strange. But anyway, let's see, as soon as they connect the power to this, now they have to supply this with a little bit of algae, and there it goes. So now this is emitting oxygen at about 500 grams per second, and it's doing good. Okay. So now they're working. Not that. I'm probably going to dig over here more, so. Alright, oh, I did not do this. Now that I got the job board, I can now assign my dupes a job. Now, this screen is new, and you have to have that job board to do this. Basically, they're organized into 6 tiers, well, 7, technically with 0. And the higher tier of a job it is, the more demanding the little guys will become. As you can see, most of the ones at the bottom: apprentice miner helps you dig, apprentice architect helps you build. They do things, let's see, like gopher gives you 2 to strength and 400 kilograms of carrying capacity more. You don't have to remain in this job, because once you complete it, you get the perks permanently, and then can move on to another job. So let's see. Let's start out. I know I had someone who was mining. It would probably Stinky. I know I had someone who was building. Was that Stinky too? What does Stinky have? Construction. Oh, he was, okay, he should be the gopher, because he's the one. Well, no, wait, let's actually make him an architect. Yeah, architect, that's what he should be. Okay. I'll go over here and do it this way. She I'll make her into the gopher. Of importance in a game like this is somebody who hauls things, and that's why the supplier is actually something that's quite necessary. Abe was going to be our cook, so we'll make him a sous chef. And Ashcan here was our researcher, so we'll make him a research assistant. And so these two are now in the second tier, and they're going to expect better food and higher decor. But for the moment, we're not going to worry about that too much. What happens if they don't get this is that they start to experience stress, and at the moment our stress levels are okay. May's the only one, and that's probably because she didn't have a bed last night. So let us finish this. I'm going to turn this into a bedroom, barracks, whatever you want to call it, and we'll be good there. Also start them digging out this stuff ever so slowly as we go across here. Not quite that much. How's the oxygen going? Okay, so this was all kind of purple at first. Now it's turning blue again. It's not the very breathable blue, but it's definitely breathable. So we're getting better on the oxygen levels. This is getting up a little more. Notice it's not quite going down here all that much just yet, and that's mostly because there's no real airflow. The ladder doesn't stop it completely, but doesn't let it flow very well either. This is actually kind of tight in here. I'll probably move some things around in a little bit. Research is done. Oh, that was the old one. Planter box. Okay. Next thing I'm going to have to worry about, probably real quick here, is food. And I just got the technology to do that. So let's start with the research job here. After that, I will do ventilation, and they will research that. Okay. We also got compost piles, which we'll need to put one over here. Basically, as you get polluted dirt, you put it in here and work the polluted dirt into regular dirt. It takes a while. We're starting to get low on food. So the other thing I want to show you real quick here is the priorities idea. Now there's this button up here first. This is where, now this is their priorities screen. Basically every single type of errand is listed here, and by changing the priorities they'll do these things before the other things. Now obviously our research assistant wants to be researching, our cook needs to be cooking, Stinky the apprentice architect needs to be building and digging, but I won't go super high, just high. And you, well, let's see, you probably want to supply, operate, which is like that, they're operating, and tidy. Okay, so they will first look here. So that means that they're going to choose, this guy's going to choose to cook before he does anything else. If there's nothing to cook, then he'll do something else. After that, there's sub-priorities, which each individual task has a sub-priority, and they will do the tasks of a priority that is higher first. So say I want them, actually I need them to dig down here and get some seeds. So by changing the sub-priority to 9, that means they'll come down here first when one of them decides to do some digging. There he goes. See? We're on cycle 5. Been playing for about that time. And, well, they're still digging. Well, I guess this is the time when we should let this go for now. Next time, what I'll probably do, what I'll have to do, is finish the farm. I'll put it up here, and also finish the place for them to sleep, and so that poor May can have a place to stay. Then after that, we'll have to get some food going, and so that our things won't die to death. We'll have another couple of days here, but not too much more than that. And oh, they got in there. Let me. Okay, so we'll uproot that. Oh, looky, looky. We got some bristle blossom all ready to go. Oh, and there's a shine nymph egg. Good. Mealwood. Basically, with these plants that start out here, if they're not above a certain maturity level, I will dig them up, because we can plant them and make them grow faster than they'll grow out in the wild. This is a item that, or it's a plant that you can plant in indoors, and it will increase the decor of a place. Let's see. This one we'll leave down there. This one we'll dig up. You don't eat this, you just plant it and it looks good. And this is a muck root. You can't grow that either. Alright. So they're going to get into there. Alright. So that's everything for now. Please feel free to leave a comment down below and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.